Hello everyone, welcome to SoapUI training. So this is day one and we'll start with some recap what we have done in last session, and wherever you have question, just put your question in chat, and we'll try to answer whenever in between the session I'll find time, or at the end of the session we'll have question and answer. So let's start this. Okay, so let me write some of the points what we have covered, okay, in the first session. So we talked about what are web services, all right, and okay, let me increase the font so that all right. So we talked about what are web services, all right. Then we talked about protocols, and we also talked about WSDL, okay, that is actually web services description language, right? And we also talked about SOA, service oriented architecture. So these some important topics we have covered in orientation session, and we'll see about means very I don't know how many people have attended first session. So let me give some recap of this. So for webs, what are web services? Web services are nothing but piece of code, you can say, or a small functionality or a small portion of a software which is exposed to outside world, all right. So as I gave you example of two softwares running on different platforms. So if the server which hosted this web service, all right, let me correct this. Okay, so let me all right. So as I explained you in the last session, this is client, okay, and which send request, and this is server, okay. So it send request, all right, and server send response, okay. So what happened? This server has some software, and you can say some method of functionality of this software on hosted on this server are exposed to outside world, okay. And this client knows about address, means we talked about WSDL, which contains a lot of information about web services, and where it is hosted, and some other what kind of operation it can perform, what are the messages in that. So all this information this WSDL has. So this client directly knows about that WSDL, or it searched on UDDI, as I told you in previous session. So using that, they can send request, all right, and server can send response back. So this way web services works. So let me give some example of this. So if you go to search on Google, like share price or stock price of any company, okay, if you search like Google stock price for today, so it will directly display on their page. So whenever you requesting, so the web service is walking behind that scene, okay. So a lot of things are there in our practical life where we use these web services but we don't realize much. All right. So I hope this is clear. Means, for them who have just joined, or for them this is first session. So this way works. Web services works. Okay. So it requires one medium. Okay. It can be internet. Okay. It can be LAN, intranet. Okay. Or MAN. So we required medium, and we required format. Okay. So web service mostly they use XML. Okay. To wrap their data and send. All right, we'll talk in detail about this XML in today's session. Okay, but before that, let me also explain something about protocols. So web services, in current scenario, there are two type of web services: based web services and RESTful web services. All right, so you can say there are two protocols, which first one is a SOAP, simple object access protocol, and another is RESTful. Okay, RESTful web services. So these protocols are very important. How they defined how to communicate, how to, so all these things they have already mentioned here, and based on that we develop our web services. And we talked about most important part of the web services is WSDL. This we call WSDL in general, means WSDL. So this is the most important part of the web services. It contains about information about the web service, what kind of operation or method it has to perform, what kind of messages it has. It should display whenever you send any request. All right, and the location of the web service, where it is hosted. All right. So this WSDL, uh, service providers creates this WSDL and they share with client. They can directly share with client so that they can, whenever they want, they can just send the request using this. Else, there is a entity UDDI. All right. Okay. So there is an entity UDDI where all the service providers around the world, they go and register here for their web services. Okay, it's an internet global directory, so any service provider can go here, and they can register their web services. Okay, so some web services are free to use, and some web services you need to pay. Okay, so there are a lot of web services available. So whenever client is required any service, so what they do, they just go to this directory UDDI, and they search for that particular web service. If they find, they can take that, means they can take this WSDL. Okay, and they can use for their purpose. All right, then there is a SOA, service oriented architecture. It resolves a lot of issues, because in practical life we have different kind of platforms we work, like a smartphone, like Windows platform, like Macintosh, like Linux. Mainframe systems are there, old legacy systems are there. So there was difficulty to communicate, because if one software is already developed and it is working very fine, not actually fine. So if we don't want to develop, we don't want to put much effort to develop on a new technology, if it is already available there. So enterprise, what they will do, they will just expose some functionality or method of that software to outside world or to whom they want to use it, and they will use this SOA architecture, service oriented architecture. It is a actually a collection of web services. Okay, so what happens when you communicate using different kind of platforms? So you require one architecture where you will easily communicate to each other, which can be a language independent, platform independent. So all these can be done using this SOA. So it resolves a lot of issues to communicate on different platforms. All right. So all these things we have discussed in last session. Okay. So what we are going to do today is we have much talked about before directly jumping on SoapUI tool, that open version tool to test these web services. I would like to explain about XML. Okay, because this WSDL is nothing a XML based document. Okay, so I thought to explain this because very necessary topic, very mandatory topic to cover. So what are the XMLs? XML is, if we I'll write the full form here, extensible markup language. All right, this is the full form of this XML, and it is very similar to HTML. All right, I'll tell you the difference between XML and HTML, but before that, there is no predefined tags. Okay, there is no predefined tags. Okay, so you can define your tag whatever you want. All right, so XML is for XML for described data, not to display data. Okay, so why we use XML in these web services? As I said, we need to communicate on different platforms, right? Okay, let me check some question if there is any. Sorry, I joined late. So Suresh, you did not miss anything. We just talking about what we have covered in last session, and we just started about XML. All right. So as I said, the problem what was with web services are, or in practical life, how to communicate on different platforms, which has been developed using some different kind of platform. Okay, like Windows or Linux. So actually, this XML is comes in picture and it resolves this issue. Okay, so earlier as I said that to communicate from client to server or send request, you need one medium and one format to send data, your request and your response. Okay, client will send a request and server will send response. So for these we require two things. One is medium like internet or intranet, or one is format. So XML actually comes in picture and it wraps the data. All right, it is language independent. Okay, it is platform independent. All right, so this is the benefit of XML. It can communicate to any platform available. Okay, so let me as I said, there are no predefined tags, so you can create your own tag. Like just for example, you like create one uh, sample of XML document. Okay, so suppose I want to send email to someone. Okay, so first is your parent node. Okay, so whenever you create this parent node, so this combination should has, here is opening tag and you need to close, so this is called closing tag. So every tag you write, you should have open and closing tag. All right, okay, so to send any email you need address for of that person. Okay, so I'll write to, okay, I'll put question mark here so that we can put data. All right, and then I just open that to tag, so I need to close this tag, so this way I can close. All right, so this is our parent node and this is our child node. Okay, then we require where from who is sending this email, so we require this one also from. Okay, I'll put question mark here to put data, and then we need to close this tag. All right, then we require body of the email. Okay, so I'll create this tag also. So as you can see here, XML is a very simple language. You can create your own tags. All right, so this we have created a one XML document. If we want to write email here, I can write to anything, test at itlearn. Okay, and suppose I'm sending from learn at itlearn.com, and I want to send hello, welcome to SoapUI training. Okay, so this email I want to send using this XML document. Okay, so to read this format, we need one piece of code which can read this XML and find out the data wrapped between tags. So all this data has been wrapped under some our defined, already defined tags. Okay, so to read this, we developer generally they write program to read this XML file. whenever they want to use this XML. All right. So as you see, XML does not do anything. As you can see here, it does not do anything. It just wrap the data inside the tags, and using that any medium like internet, we can send across the platforms. So remember this, XML does not do anything. It just transmit the data from one place to another place. Okay. Also, I need to add here, XML is for carrying data and not to display, as I mentioned here. All right. So XML just carry data, carries one place to another place, one platform to another platform. Okay. And if I'll write about, if you have confusion between XML and HTML, so HTML basically we use for display data, to display data. So XML is required for carrying data and HTML is to display data. So this difference you can remember. Okay, if you have any confusion between XML and HTML. All right, so let me talk about some more things about these our own defined tags. This is case sensitive. So if you write this way in caps here E, and if you have a small here E, so there will be issue. So while defining XML tags, you need to keep in mind that you need to, it should be in same format, and it is case sensitive, so you need to take care of this. All right. Also, the benefit of this XML is it simplifies the communication between. All right. So whenever client and server they talk to each other, so XML actually simplifies this communication. As I said, platform and language independent. So this simplifies all these things. So I hope you all are clear with XML. Okay. And I'll request you to read some more about this XML. You can go to w3schools.com and you can uh, read about this XML to just get more knowledge of this. Okay. So let me check if I have any questions. Okay. So I don't see any questions. So if you have any question, you can just put here and I can try to answer. Okay. So let's move. So I hope you all are clear with XML. Now we'll move to how we can download SoapUI. Okay. So you can just type here download SoapUI. Okay. Or if you know directly, you can go to soapui.org. All right. You can go to directly this page. It is taking some time to load. All right. And based on your operating system, if you have a 32-bit operating system, you can download this. All right. If you have a Windows 64-bit machine, you can download from here. If you have a Mac, okay, so you can download it from here. So suppose I have a 64-bit machine I have already installed, but I'll let you know how to install this, how to download. So you can save this file, okay, and you can, whenever it downloaded on your computer, you can just it has very simple uh, installation, so you can just try it out. And if you have any query related to this, you can just let to me. You can post in forum, okay, and you can directly mail to me. There is also Windows zip, so you can download it from here, okay. You can save this file on your computer and you can unzip, okay. Don't try to install directly from zip folder. Sometimes it maybe you'll face issue because uh, you will uh, not get complete installation using this. So don't try to install directly from zip file. If you don't have any extract tool like WinRAR or some other, so you can just download it from, okay, and respective websites, and you can just extract this zip file and you can install. So I hope I'm talking about this uh, sorry for this, this is actually pro version, right? So let me go here. Yeah, download SoapUI. So earlier I think I have explained about pro version. So there are two versions of SoapUI tool. All right, one is open version tool and one is uh, license based tool. All right, so you can go here, you can just click to uh, SoapUI and you can directly come here, sourceforge.net, and you can just click download. So this one is latest version, you can download it from here, okay. You can click download and same way it is very simple installation. You can just download it on your system and you can save this file, okay, and you can install. So if you face any issue, just let me know. We can, I hope it will be clear because uh, it is very simple installation. So let me check if I have any questions. So Hari, there are, as I said, there are two versions. One is open version. So open version you can download from here. Um, 1 second. SoapUI.org. If you go to this website, okay, SoapUI website, and go to downloads, okay, so you can see there are Soap, SoapUI NG Pro trial. So this actually requires license. So if you want to use this, you can download and you can use for 14 or 15 days. All right. I think it is for 14 days license. So this is a licensed based uh, tool. And we have another tool, Soap UI, which is free, which is open source, and without any trial version, we can use directly. Okay, what we have just downloaded. So I hope it is clear on the installation part. So there are some features they have added in uh, SOAP Pro, means that Pro version. Uh, we'll see means what are not available in this open source version and what are available. There are a lot of features in SoapUI Pro. Okay, a lot of things you can use directly on the fly, but in SoapUI open source version, you have to uh, write, you have to develop on your own. Okay, so there are some lot of differences, lot of features they have added. Okay, we'll see about this. Yes, you need to install all components. So whatever by default comes, whatever by default it prompts after clicking on that exe, you can just install. Okay, you need not to worry about because there are not a this is not complex installation. You can just click next and next and it will be installed within 1 minute. Okay, so if you have any question related to SoapUI download and installation, you can just email to me, and you can use forum on our website. All right, so if you install, like I have installed SoapUI, I have installed some old version, and if you install you will get some other version, I think. Okay, so I have installed SoapUI 5.0.0. You can see on here. All right, so when you will open this tool, you will get one starter page. Okay, lot of information. If you want to close, you can close it from here. Okay, and this is actually you can create one workspace. All right, I just created earlier, and we'll we'll talk about how to create project. So if you go to file, you can find a lot of options available here. Soap project, rest project. If you are testing any soap based web service, you can use this. If you are using restful web services, you can use this. And lot of options available here. We'll see in coming sessions these things. All right. So and we'll see there are a lot of information available, and we can do lot of things with this soap open source version, that is free version of SoapUI. We can do lot of using Groovy scripting, and okay, so we'll talk about this much in detail in coming sessions. All right, so if you have any questions, you can just put in chat, and I'll try to answer those questions. Team, any questions for me? All right, so I think I'm done for today, and we'll meet in the next session, day 2, and from there we'll talk about how to create projects, and then how to create test suite, and test steps, test cases of for any web service, and we'll figure out some WSDL, and we'll perform some different kind of uh, testing, you can say, on that web service using this SOAP UI, and then we'll move some important topics. All right. So there is one question: if I miss some class, do we have recorded sessions available? Yes, we have. Uh, Go to IT Learn. Okay, you can go to our website itlearn.com, and there will be, you can go to events, you can go to web services, and you can find all the videos, recorded videos here. So this is our first orientation session video, and we'll upload under below this upcoming videos. So you can, if you have missed any session, you can go directly here and you can watch. Right? Can we have video tutorial of the sessions? Yes, as I explained, you can go here and you can watch those videos. And okay, the next question is, do you also teach how to call web service through HTML? No, we only cover about how to test web services using SoapUI tool, and with using Groovy scripting, how to create scripts, how to develop uh, some framework, okay, to test these web services. All right. So team, any question? Any other question for me? Okay, so one question is, as XML is not predefined, how does the server or system identify this? Okay, so Dinesh, as I said, developers write one piece of code, all right, to read these XML files. So when they develop, they know which is parent child, which is sub child, okay, or you can say which is a parent node, which one is child node. So as I explained here, so whenever they read this XML, then they know this is a parent node. This is parent node of this XML. This is child node of this XML. These are child nodes. So using this parent and child node, they identifies, all right. So they need not to worry about these tags. This is actually a self-explanatory language. So depending on that, they will read those nodes and their values. All right. Madhuri, for pricing, just write to learn@itlearn.com. Write one email, and or else you can go to pricing page on the here, okay, on this website, and you will get to know. Yes, we'll teach about RESTful web services also, but first we'll go with SOAP, okay, SOAP based web services, and after that we'll cover this RESTful web services also. So when we send a SOAP request, if there is any error in the SOAP UI, throws the error. So based on that, we can identify errors. So how does Groovy script validate different? Okay, so there are some assertions available in SOAP UI. So using those assertions, we can validate any error message in that request or response. Generally, we verify response. So we can, if there is any error in request, in your request, server will throw some errors based on kind of error in the request. Okay, there are defined messages on the server on that web service, and it will throw if they will find some missing data or some other information. If generally we in our practical life or we validate response coming from server because we know how what we are sending, okay, but what the data we are receiving from server, that we verify, that we validate at our end. So we if we don't talk about Groovy, we there are a lot of assertions we have in SoapUI, lot of assertions we can use and we can validate those response. but we'll see about how we can implement scripting, how we can script those things, and even using Groovy also we can validate. Okay, so if I don't see any other question here, so thank you everyone, thank you very much for joining day one, and we'll meet in the next session and we'll talk about more important topics. All right, thank you so much, bye for now.